Happy Thursday, y'all. Happy Thursday. Ooh, I don't like this thing to be showing. How's everybody doing? I just come on here real quick. I was talking to my daughter, and she's a school teacher in Texas, and she was telling me about a situation where they had on the news where this little boy, the same age my grandson, 6, he had started, the mother noticed he had started acting up, and so she was punishing him or whatever, you know, reprimanded him, because we know, what are you doing? We know if you allow things, anything you allow escalates. So if it's a problem that you don't address, it's not going to get better, it's going to only get worse. So I don't know how all this came into play. I don't know if she went to the school out of concern or whatever, but the baby never told her what was going on. And they rolled the tape back on the school bus and discovered that some of the older kids were sexually assaulting that baby on the school bus. Now, my first concern is that why are those kids, 6-year-olds, going to school with middle school or maybe high school? Now, I know out of the same situation occurring with my son, we did an M to M transfer, which means he was in a majority black school district, but he was able to go to a majority white, and he had to be bused there. And so when he was younger, he did ride the bus sometimes. A different bus though. He would do a connection. You know, like a bus would go to a school and other buses would connect with that at that school and take them to different schools. So that's how that happened. But then that changed, and so then after that, the school board actually reimbursed me my gas, $2.50 a month, until he got to let me see, I don't know if that stopped when he got to the 7th grade, or it extended up until the 9th. I can't really remember, but whatever the M to M transfer situation stopped, there was a court case, I think it was Brown versus Education. I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna link it. But anyway, so that's the reason why that happened. But I was able to, I didn't like the school. It was an underperforming school where he was zoned to. We didn't live in a bad area, but the school in the area was not, it was like a D school or something. And so the school he transferred to through the special circumstances, I think it was a B, A or B school. Yeah, and he went there his whole elementary school, not career, but the whole time he was in elementary school, he went to that school. And from my son's, whenever that M to M thing, transfer thing stopped, well, it didn't actually stop. The busing stopped. They didn't have that. They couldn't provide the busing, but they reimbursed us for the transportation. It was $2.50 a month. So I would either take him, or I put him in a daycare, and the daycare took him and picked him up. And that's how I did that. So yeah. Anyway, we did that. But back to that situation. I just feel like if you have children, a 6-year-old to me is still a baby. Not a baby in age terms, but in maturity, right? Because we can be babes in Christ if we just beginning to know Christ and getting to learn, you know, being a Christian and things. Yeah, so they're still babies to me. And so why wouldn't they have the little kids in the front of the bus? And that's what I even though my son was a big size kid, y'all know he has autism. It was my request that my son always be right where the bus driver could see him. And I'm telling y'all, and that's why I have a lot to be thankful, and that's why I can shout, because God has given me favor with my son. He's always had teachers that cared above and beyond education. They went out of their way to make him feel comfortable. If there was ever a time he got anxious in school or something happened, that teacher would pick up her cell phone and have him to call me. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that. And that's why I say the life you live speaks for you, and you get what you give. And that's why I'm always kind to people, because if something happened to me, I would expect that the way I treat other people would be reciprocated to my children when I leave here. You know what I'm saying? that's just how I see things. But for that baby to be assaulted on that bus like that is really sad. And then who are raising these kids that did that, and the children that allowed it? It didn't say anything. I mean, and oh Lord, I just, the world, man. I'm telling y'all, this world, it's a cruel, hard world. And I told, so I just, my heart goes out to kids. Even, you know, sometimes it don't be strangers that hurt kids, it be people in their own house. And that's why where there's situations where a young girl end up pregnant and she just really not even a teenager, 11, 12 years old, they immediately look in the household, because that child should be protected, guarded by a parent everywhere they go. So yeah, it's sad. It's sad. And to do that baby like that, and then for the mama to not know, and then she disciplined him, not know he acting out because he's being abused, that's got to be hard. It's got to be hard. And me and my daughter was talking about that on the phone, and both of us were crying. It just really, I'm telling you. I told her, I said, share that on your Facebook page. I don't know if she did or not, because I don't get on Facebook very much. But I told her to share it, because that's the type of stories people need to hear. Because you think you're taking your kids to school and you're thinking that they're going to be protected the whole entire time they're there, and the people do the best they can. But when you put them on the bus and you got those thuggish, because that's what they are, that's what I'm going to call them, get mad if you want, thuggish little kids on the school bus ain't being taught nothing, that they going and assaulting that baby like that. That's horrible. And there is no excuse for that whatsoever. None. Yeah, I don't want to come on here being negative. I just like to talk about things that's going on in the news, because it's real, it's happening. And, you know, if negativity is the truth, then it just is what it is, y'all. We have to, some things are difficult to talk about, but we do have to go there. We do. And that's why, you know, teach your kids at a young age, nobody's supposed to touch you here or there. And I remember Michael Bazin had this thing he was talking about one time with this young girl. She was being molested and she didn't tell anybody. And when it finally came out, she said that she remembered her dad said if anybody ever did anything to her, he would kill them. And so she was afraid that if she told her dad, he'd end up in prison. So you just don't know. That's why you got to sit down and talk to your kids and find out and figure out what's going on. And I tell my son, he's 22 years old, be 23 this year. I don't care what it is. Nothing is too vulgar or nothing. Anything that you want to discuss, I'd rather you get the answer from me than someone else, right? So we talk about everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Yeah. But, you know, the world we live in is not like it was when we were kids. We were kids, we would drink out the water hose, we splish around in the mud. These kids don't want to get dirty. Oh, goodness. They all around the world learning all type of things they shouldn't, right in the privacy of their own bedroom. Yeah. Back in the day, I told my kids they couldn't close the door to their room. I wanted to know what was going on. I sure did. I was a young mother, but I'm telling you, I changed. When I became a mother, my whole life changed, really. Like some people have kids and they go right back to doing what they used to do. No, I didn't. My whole focus in life changed because it wasn't about me anymore. I was a mother. All right, y'all. So that's how I want to talk about that baby. So please, 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 please pay attention to your kids. When their habits start changing, when their attitudes start changing, sit down and talk to them. Find out what's going on with them. You need to know. It's important. It's important. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day.
I feel the love. I feel it growing every day. I feel it.